Hello, welcome. We're going to dive into Kirk and Star Trek. There is a lot to show. I'm only going to take the basics here, the basics. So I'm going to present Star Trek from a perspective of the word Kirk, simply as that. How can this be connected to the church? Kirk means church. So let's do this. First of all, Star Trek, the starship. It makes me think about the symbol for metamorphosis, which is maybe the highest goal of spirituality. So when you search for Kirk, you don't find any church. You find Kirk, you find Star Trek. When searching for Kirk, where is the church? First of all, we're going to start out with we're going to look at the captains of in Star Trek in order. A few of them, many of them actually. So first of all, the first captain is Christopher Pike. He's the first captain. And you can directly see that this is Christopher Pike. Pike is a fish, and the fish is the Ishtus symbol. Notice also the first episode, the man trap. I've been telling you that the trap, there's a trap, and this is how it should be. There is a lime trap. The entire series with Christopher Pike, the first with Star Trek is called The Cage, and the first episode is the man trap. I've been talking about the man trap much lately. Then you have James Kirk, the first church. I'm going to say church instead of Kirk because that's what it is. So James Kirk, what about him? Well, in Christianity, actually the first bishop of Jerusalem and the creator of, the first leader of Jerusalem church was James, one of the apostles. So already there you can see that he's the first church, you could say, James. And to the right you see the captains that I'm going to talk about, right? Yeah. Picard, etymology pike, again back to the fish. Then finally there is another Kirk. There are other Kirks, but I think the other series of Star Trek is bad, I think. So Kirk, Christopher Pine, acted by Christopher Pine, and Pine is the etymology, the origin of the word pineal gland. You can see this in the Vatican, right? And the symbology around the Pope and this stuff. I would like to show you something more. So you could say like this. First you had Christ. The Christ fish came, and so this is, you can see this as symbolic of the entire Christian biblical story, with the first coming of Christ being a fish, making fishers of men. His first apostles was two fishers, and so these fishers made him, instead of fishing fish, you fish men for the pike, you know. So the first Christ, the fish, then you have this actor Christopher Pike dies. No, he doesn't die. He actually goes to another place, you could say. And yeah, very similar. And then James Kirk takes over as captain, and he becomes, the first church, the first Kirk. Kirk is church, and this is literally what's happening in the Christian narrative. Then you have the second coming, where Christ comes back as a pine, as a panel, and you have the inner temple like that. I think it looks pretty beautiful like that, don't you think? And so yeah, something to think about, maybe. So yeah, and I think the shape of this ship is inspired by this symbol of the spiritual enlightenment, where the sun goes within, and yeah, the outer temples fall. Okay guys, see you another time. Bye bye guys.